Well, I have 20 pounds of butter beans that need preserving, but I don't want to use up any more valuable freezer space. So we're gonna pressure can them. We want to give these a good rinse first and be sure to remove anything that's damaged and of course any debris left behind from the shelling process. I bought these beans in bulk. I'm just not at a stage in life that is justifiable for me to spend the amount of time it requires to pick them and shell them. But if you're growing your own, that is great, and also hope to someday. Anyway, go ahead and add salt and pepper to your jar or whatever you like to season your beans with. But just remember, especially with your salt, it's gonna be a lot easier to add some more later than it is after boiling beans out because they're too salty. I'm cold packing these jars, which is what I do with most things that I pressure can. This is a very normal and safe practice for pressure canning. I fill my jars about like this, and I like to give it a little shake as I'm filling them, just so that everything settles down nicely. Finish filling your jars with water, but be sure you leave that 1 inch of headspace at the top. Run something down all 4 sides of the jar to be sure all those air bubbles out. This is very critical with pressure canning. You can see some releasing right now. You may need to add extra water after the air bubbles escape. I did, but then clean your rims with some distilled vinegar. Seals on, rings on, finger tight. With a pressure canner, you never done cover your jars completely with water. I like for my water to come up close to 50% of the jar height. Really, the main thing is that you have enough water in it so it doesn't all evaporate out during processing. So we want to go ahead and secure this lid and start the heat. It's gonna take some time to get it warmed up, but we want to start seeing steam come from this vent hole right here. You want to see a steady stream of steam coming out of this vent hole. Then start a 10-minute timer. After 10 minutes, add your weight. Now, every elevation requires a different weight. The higher you are, the heavier that weight has to be. My elevation requires me to use a 10-pound weight. You really don't even have to pay attention to your pressure gauge. You're just looking for that weight to start moving. Now, if it's dancing like mine, that's too aggressive. I've cut my heat back. You really only want it to jiggle about 4 or 5 times per minute, but just remember, if that thing ever stops jiggling, you're gonna have to up your heat and restart your timer again. Processing times for butter beans seem to be all over the place. I've seen anywhere from as low as 30 minutes to as high as 90 minutes. I choose to process mine for 50 minutes for these quart jars, and that is from the time that weight starts dancing. Well, with my 50 minutes up, I've cut the heat off, and now I'm gonna walk away. I want this pot to naturally cool itself. I want to wait for the safety latch to release, and then I'll come here, I'll open the lid up, and I'll wait another 10 minutes before I remove my jars. I'm gonna let these sit right here cool and finish sealing. Then I remove my rings and I store them in my cool room. And that's how you get you some 3 to 5 year shelf-stable butter beans without losing any freezer space. I have 7 quarts here and 7 more quarts to run, but it looks like that 20-pound bag is gonna yield me about 16 quart jars. Happy canning, y'all.